We're here to make a new type of news.
New insights, new styles, new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Making news just for you. It's January 20th here in Seoul. I'm Shin Yeun, and this is Arirang's new daily morning program, News Generation, where young people make the news at Arirang's very own open studio. Every morning, we'll discuss the top issues and latest current affairs affecting people in their 20s and 30s. Joining me in the studio is Choi Ji-hee.
Good morning, Yeun.
Morning, and Walter Lee.
Lovely to be here.
Now, both are here to speak on behalf of those in their 20s and 30s. And for our viewers who might have seen the opening, we were stretching, we're wearing our sportswear. And if you're curious why, please stay tuned for our discussion topic of today. Now, every day we will make a news feed for the new generation, and we're looking at the top trending hashtags on social media in the past 24 hours. Now, here's the 3 hashtags that we have for you. The first is German tanks. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz at the World Economic Forum on Wednesday hinted that Germany may allow German-made tanks to be sent to Ukraine to help its defense against Russia. That's as long as the United States agrees to send its own tanks. The second hashtag is Elon Musk. More than 500 advertising clients reportedly paused spending on Twitter since Elon Musk's takeover in October. The social media platform has seen revenues drop by 40%. The third hashtag is Gujarat Festival. 6 people, including 3 children, have died from kite strings slicing their throats during a festival in India. Over 100 people were injured, and India has a long history of kite flying activities during their annual Uttarayan festival, which celebrates the end of the winter. Now, bringing the discussion back here, why do you think these particular hashtags interested the new gen?
Right, with the first one, hashtag German tanks, I mean, the war in Ukraine, it's been going on for almost a year now. And there's special focus on, in particular, on Germany, because the country has veto power over the decision to send its Leopard tanks filled by NATO allied armies across Europe.
Right.
And it's widely seen as the most suitable for Ukraine's situation right now. And the second hashtag, it's very similar to what we've talked about before. Hashtag Elon Musk. Many youngsters have invested in Tesla, and Twitter is also a very commonly used social media as well. We're just very interested in both of these, Elon Musk and Twitter. And just by the fact that it lost 40% of its revenue, it's affecting many of the youngsters who have invested a lot in Elon Musk and Tesla.
Definitely,
as well. Yes.
especially with stocks. Now, what about you, Walter? What's the third hashtag?
Yeah, so usually I'm the person that comes in with a lighter note, but sadly I have to report on something that is absolute tragedy at this Uttarayan festival in India, where yes, 6 are dead, 3 of them are children, which is extremely sad. And it brings into question these kite flying, I guess, festivals or the things that they do. The safety standards they have to raise the safety standards, and this is not the first time it's happened. So
Exactly.
What are they going to change to make things more safe?
Exactly. It's not the first time that this happened, and a lot of environmental activists are saying this can hurt and harm the environment as well. Birds are getting tangled there too as well. So thank you so much for making our news feed today, and hopefully next week we'll bring lighter topics. Moving on, NewsGen discusses topics each day, and here's what we have for you today. Katsing. It's a popular lingo among millennials and Gen Z in Korea. It means living a respectable life like a god. The younger generation aim to achieve katsing through exercising and staying fit. A recent survey found 7 out of 10 millennials and Gen Z chose body goals as their New Year's resolution. Most were willing to spend an average $145 a month on health and fitness.
Help me.
Today, NewsGen looks at 3 questions. 1. Why does the new generation prioritize health and fitness activities in their daily lives? 2. Why have a large number of young people in Korea taken something called a body profile shoot? 3. How can the new generation achieve healthy pleasure? In other words, pleasure while being healthy. Now, that was a very funny video. I don't know if you guys realize, but yum, it's delicious.
One more time.
And I think I can relate as an aspiring gym unicorn myself. Whenever you go to the gym and you're working on your weak points, you're like, yum, this is good, as if you're tasting something really good, right?
Well, the one more time expression is something I hate hearing because it's always one more time. And they say, no, 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 one more time.
Exactly.
And you're like, you said one more time, 2 more times ago. So,
Right, everyone will relate if you go to the gym.
Totally agree, yes.
All right, so today, for those of our viewers who are wondering why our panelists are dressed up like this, you might have already guessed, we're going to be talking about fitness and wellness trends among young people. And my first question is, do you guys exercise regularly?
well, I try to at least get to the gym 4 times a week. That does depend on my schedule, but yeah, 4 times at the max, I would say.
That's a lot, though.
Oh, it's a lot for me.
Right. What about you, Jihee?
Well, not as much as Walter, but I do try to exercise at least 3 times a week. It doesn't matter what exercise you engage in, but it may sound easy to some, but it is really hard to get yourself motivated to exercise.
Exactly. I can totally relate to that. It's just so hard to get yourself out to the gym.
Yes.
But why do you think, Walter, that the new generation is fixated on working out and keeping fit?
It's all about those likes. It's all about getting
All
those
about the
likes
likes.
on the Instagram.
Right.
Everyone wants to show off their body. But to be honest with you, on a serious note, it is also about health and well-being, right? A
Definitely.
lot of people want to look after their body. They want to be healthy, not just physically, but also mentally. So I completely understand. But due to things like COVID-19, it's actually caused a lot of people to move away from gyms.
Right.
And even start up what's called home-t in Korean, which is, I guess, an abbreviation of home training.
Definitely, yeah.
So people like myself stopped going to the gym to do exercises at home, which also spawned another slang called 확진자,
확진자.
right, which is sort of like a word play on 확진자, meaning confirmed cases or confirmed
Right.
patient. But in this situation, it's like people who gain weight.
Right, 확진자.
Yeah,
Emphasis
yeah.
on the jin, right?
Right, for people who gain weight during this, I guess, terrible COVID period.
Yeah, and I can relate to that as well, because in COVID, you're just at home, you're
Oh,
eating
yes.
snacks, watching TV.
Yes,
So
delivery.
Yes, I was a 확진자 myself. All right, T, and I hear that there was a certain point in your life when you went to the gym just like almost every day.
Yes, actually 4 to 5 times a week, which is a
Wow.
lot for me, really.
That's a lot.
I don't know if I believe you.
You're a bit suspicious.
Really? You're being skeptical? I have proof.
You have proof?
Yes,
Really?
I have proof because Yeon did a report on this too.
Yes, I
You
did.
can see on the video, I'm exercising quite hard.
Is that you?
Is that you?
That's me.
I remember this. I remember this. This was last year
me.
summer.
Yes.
Oh, and
wow.
what's that?
Oh, that's me too. So I was exercising really hard for 4 to 5 days a week for 6 months with a personal trainer. And I thought I might get
Look at
even
you
more. That's me. So I'm not lying, really. And I thought I might be more motivated to exercise almost every day if I had a goal for myself, if I could challenge myself to really go for that body profile, which is really popular.
Body profile shoot. So you've taken a body profile
Yes,
shoot.
I did.
Can
I
you show
ended up
us?
taking one. Yes, I think we can see it
If we
on
can
the
see on the
screen.
screen, if there's a body profile shoot of yourself.
Yes, that's me.
Look
That
at
is you?
That looks so good.
That's embarrassing, but yes,
That's so
me.
beautiful.
Yes, I ended up taking one. I never thought I could take one, but after working out for so hard and going on a strict diet, I was able to take one for myself. And it's a big thing in Korea. It used to be reserved for the celebrities and just professional athletes, but it's a huge thing. People tone their bodies and get their body profiles shipped.
And it took you 6 months.
It took me 6 months.
Wow. And Walter, I'm noticing here in the studio, I don't know if our viewers saw, but his facial expression was in deep impression.
Like, to be honest with you, I completely understand the difficulties of taking these photos. Now, I personally don't want to do it, but I've got friends around me, people around me who do it, and they tell me leading up to it is the most difficult period because you do have to work out. You do have to have that strict diet. Jihee, you must have felt really good after that, right?
I did. I felt a sense of accomplishment, and I
Definitely.
never knew I could have those abs that look like number 11, they say in Korea. And I wanted those perpendicular shoulders,
Definitely.
and I never knew I could do that. But it was a very strenuous 6 months. I'm really proud of my photos, but I will never do it again.
Why not? Why not?
Because it was a really long 6 months. I had to exercise a lot, and I had to be very restrictive with my diet. My staple food was sweet potatoes and chicken breast
Oh my
and
gosh.
tomatoes.
Where was your happiness?
Exactly. I'm a moksuni. I'm a big eater.
You're a foodie.
Yes, I'm a foodie.
A foodie who couldn't eat for 6 months.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Did
It
you have
was
cheat
hard.
days?
Yeah,
I
you
did
must
have cheat days. I had a lot of cheat days actually in the beginning, but towards
That's every day.
no. But towards the end, towards my big day, D-Day, I was really restrictive with my diet.
Right, because you have to take those pricey body profile shoots.
Exactly.
How much do they cost usually?
Well, with the personal training, it's about 50,000 won or $50 for one
$50?
session.
One session?
Yes, and I had about 50 of them.
Wait, so
50.
someone do the math. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes,
A lot
that
of
is
money.
2.5 million won
Wow.
for just
Wow.
the training.
Yes.
And with the food and the photo shoots, the studios you have to reserve, it was quite pricey.
It was, but despite being so pricey, a lot of Koreans here have taken these so-called body profile shoots. And why don't we find out whether this is also a popular trend abroad? Body profile shoots and the expense and effort involved show just how invested many young people in Korea are when it comes to exercising and staying fit. To find out whether that's the case abroad, we have with us a millennial from the U.S., Lee Holland. She's currently an adjunct professor from Yonsei University Mita campus in Gangwon-do Province. Welcome, Lee.
Morning.
Morning.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
All right, Lee, I hear that you've taken a body profile like T. How was it?
Well, to be most accurate, I've taken 4.
You've taken 4.
Wow, you're amazing.
I guess that it's a really good experience if I've done it that many times. But no, it's delightful. Like G said, it's so much hard work.
Wow.
But it absolutely pays off.
But you look
good.
amazing.
Oh,
look
you
at
look
those
amazing.
photos.
I can
Thank
never take
you,
it 4
thank you.
times, really.
Wow, and all the outfits. You look gorgeous.
Oh.
This is motivating me.
Wow.
Oh, so you
An
see there's a
outdoor
lot
one
of
as well.
variety.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And how long did it take you to prepare for this?
My first one ever, it was 10 weeks prep. But
10
I
weeks?
had
Wow.
10 weeks. But I had already been exercising before that. Like I knew how to exercise. Oh, and these are tournaments. I do evening gown competitions as well.
Oh wow, tournaments.
Yeah, like
Wow.
like Miss Korea, that kind of thing.
Miss Fitness.
Miss Fitness.
Yeah, it's really fun. In the background, I have some medals
Oh my
from
gosh.
those.
I
Yeah.
see. So I think we're all very just so
Yes,
impressed.
we're so
We're like struck.
impressed.
We're like, you
Yes.
look amazing there. And it actually motivates me to work out after this. But any questions you might have for Lee yourself?
Well, I guess, Lee, you and she have inspired me to at least think about taking a body profile. Even my male friends have taken it. However, I'm a person who loves pizza. I try to eat it on a weekly basis. Can you maybe tell me some tips on preparing, or at least what kept you motivated to keep going?
I think the idea of becoming someone you've never been, you have to have this image of, oh, if I do this, then what else is possible? Like the people who run a marathon and then they find they can do other things.
Right.
So not just the photos, not just thinking of your amazing body in these photos, but thinking how it proves to you that you're a strong person. So I
Right.
think that's helpful.
Well, I have one too. As a person who has been through this process, I respect how much you've been through, and you've done it 4 times. So I was wondering if the way young people seem to diet or work out in Korea is different from those in the States, and how so?
I do think it's a bit different here. I think there's a tendency to go really hard on the diet and just very strict. And there's still an idea of being very, very, very thin. I feel like in America, there are many different body types, and we have body positivity, body neutrality. So you can look many different ways. But I feel like in Korea, there's still a tendency toward just absolutely strict dieting to get the smallest body possible.
Right, and I think the industry is trying to change up upon that. We're seeing plus size models, different sized mannequins. But why do you think here in Korea it's so different? Do you think there's different beauty standards or a difference in how we define being fit?
A little bit. I think it's moving away from that though, and I actually hope that the body profile trend is part of that change, because like Jihi said, to have a good body profile, you have to build a little muscle. You have to build out your shoulders, and that's actually very healthy. Muscle is very good for us. So I think it's changing more here. There was kind of one beauty standard, but it's getting more diverse, and I love to see that.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Lee. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. You guys are awesome, and I'll keep watching, keep cheering for you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lee.
All right. If we bring the discussion back to the studio, what comment of Lee's did you get fascinated by?
Well, I was fascinated, first of all, with all her photos.
I know, 4. She took 4 body profile shoots.
That's amazing. It could not happen to me, really. After taking one, I was already so sick and tired of it. I will never do the second one. But it's really amazing that she did 4.
Right, and the motivation.
Yes, the motivation.
And I loved her vision that it was to keep herself fit, not to look just good, but for health, right?
Yeah, and going back to also body image as well, obviously the Western body and the Asian body are very different, especially among females. I know that many females have different body standards, so it was good that she mentioned that she hopes there is change
More
within
diversity.
culture. Yeah, more
Right.
diversity, and not everybody has to be the same.
Definitely. All right. If we move on, given that we are a live morning program, we always ask our viewers questions related to our discussion topic in advance, and we use this time to share with you what they had to say. So we asked, do you regularly exercise or go on a diet? If so, how? And Goomber Dubs said, gym, diet, exercise? What is that? And Desiree Note says, I regularly exercise, but diet and healthy eating is the hardest part for me. I relate to you. And Ancient Pro Genie 8295 says, I hit the gym at least 5 to 6 times a week. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I start off with Goomber Dubs and what I feel about his comments, gym, diet, exercise, what is that? I have to say, I agree. It's so hard. It's so hard just after a long day of work, you go to the gym and just, exercise. It's really hard. But what
It
about
really
you
is.
guys? What comments interested you the most?
Well, Desiree Note says she regularly exercises, but diet and healthy eating is the hardest part for her, which I totally agree because restrictive diet, again, that's really hard.
It's hard, especially if you're a foodie.
Exactly.
Yeah, and for me, like Ancient Pro, I think it was Genie 8295, at least 6 times. I feel like they're showing off a little bit there. At least the 7 days in a week. Come on, at least.
Especially for Walter, who exercises maximum 4 times a week.
4. I don't go any even if I had the time. No way I'm going past 4 days.
All right, every day we do upload questions related to our discussion topic for our viewers to answer. And if you want to participate, please search Arirang News on YouTube and look into our community tab. The link is right below. All right, and we've already come to the final part of our discussion. Time flies it flies so quick here. And though it's really great to keep fit and healthy, as we were saying, I think we learned that it should always be in moderation, Ji.
Oh, yes, totally. You should always think about your health. Don't don't compare yourself with others.
Definitely.
Because it was so hard for me to exercise for 6 months with a personal trainer under a restrictive diet. And like I said, I got so sick and tired of it that I didn't even exercise for like twice a week after taking my body profile. Yes, to be honest. So there are pros and cons to this. I mean, it can leave you healthy and you're on a healthy diet, balanced diet, but it can get you mentally stressed as well. So please be aware of that if you're thinking of taking a body profile. And also, don't have yourself being compared to others. Don't compare yourself with others. Have your own standards. Don't overreach because it's going to be unhealthy for you in the end. So really have your own standards for this.
I think the premise should be loving yourself, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to take a body profile shoot, it's sort of inevitable for you to look at social media and all these different tags saying, oh, I've taken a body profile shoot, these trending hashtags. But why don't you just go on a social media detox if you can? Do you think that'd be helpful?
I think that'll be helpful. Once you've decided that you want to take a body profile, just have a social detox for a while and just focus on yourself and your body more. Yes.
It's all about loving yourself and your own body.
Yes, it's all about your loving your body.
Right.
Yes.
And Walter, what about you? Do you have any body goals this year?
Well, I guess as a person who's about to become a dad very soon, even though it's loved by certain people, I'm trying not to get that dad bod, get that belly happening. I'd rather just keep my belly slim, and that's my main goal is, you know, not to get the big gut that my dad had.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I think I want to bring the topic to beauty standards again,
yes.
right? Staying fit, wellness is all good as long as you're doing it for your health. It shouldn't be based on beauty standards. But if
Exactly.
we briefly talk about the extraordinary beauty standards here in Korea, what do you have to say about that?
Well, there is a very high beauty standard here in South Korea, especially. I think, you know, especially when you think about South Korea, plastic surgery also comes to mind where people are
Definitely.
changing their face in order to reach a certain beauty standard. However, I think the most important thing I would take away from today is that it's not just about the way you look, it's about also how you feel.
Right.
Now, I was a person who also struggled in my early 20s with certain issues, and the best thing for me to get over this whole entire depression or slump was working out. And it didn't mean I really had to care about what I look like, it was about how I felt inside.
Right.
So I really think that's important.
And I think Jihee mentioned earlier, it was all about that feeling of satisfaction and most importantly, accomplishment.
Yes, exactly. It's really for yourself, you know. And I want to say a healthy mind comes from a healthy body, right?
Right.
So don't compare yourself with others and keep yourself healthy. I want to say these 5 short sentences really quickly to end with a final note. So eat well, move daily, hydrate well, sleep lots, and love your body.
Love your body, and any final notes that you might have for our viewers?
Well, as I said, I think the most important thing is that you look after your mind and body, like Jihee said. I won't repeat her too much, but for me, I do it mainly these days to keep my mental health strong, not just my physical health.
And Youth Generation recognizes that everyone is very different. It's all about individualism. We respect what you do. And based on our talks, don't feel pressured to go to the gym.
Not
Do
at
it
all.
for yourself.
Did you feel pressured?
No, I was motivated actually. I
Right?
would like
That's
to feel
good.
that satisfaction
Yeah.
and accomplishment that I can do it.
Yes, you can do it, yeah.
I can do it. All right, today we talked about why the younger generation value fitness in their daily lives, and we'll be here every day from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Korea time, bringing you the topics that young people are talking about. Special thanks to Jihee.
Thank you, yeah.
You had a wonderful body
Oh,
profile.
thank
It was
you.
beautiful. And Walter Lee.
You'll be looking forward to my body profile in the next 10 years.
We'll be waiting. We'll be waiting. All right, and thank you for all of our viewers for watching, and we'll see you next week. We are News
News
Generation.
Generation.